Good morning. Good morning. Happy Monday. Just some thoughts today about emotional pain, about a little bit about anxiety, about depression, maybe some helpful thoughts about reframing these types of reactions that you're having in your life. So the way that we react or act in our life, the things that we feel sometimes, emotional pain, anxiety, anxiousness, are responses to the way that our nervous system, and sometimes like our past programming in our brain, the way that our environment is being perceived. And it makes sense in the sense that all of this is really kind of programmed, right, from the past. Maybe something has happened to you in the past, so similar instances, or maybe even like opening up to people is scary. There's a lot really that we can kind of go down that road. So I just really kind of want to keep it as surface level as possible. But the beautiful thing about the way that we operate is that we make perfect sense if we can look at it in that light. So a lot of times, and I'm saying this from the heart because a lot of times from where I come from, I have fought a lot of my reactions, my emotions, the things that I do instinctively. And although it may not be the reaction that you want, let me just say that whatever is coming up for you makes complete sense. So just bear with me here because I know this is a little bit hard, and it's even kind of hard for me to kind of put words to and describe. So if you have any questions, just message me and we can chat about it. But no matter what you're going through right now, whether that be emotional pain, high anxiety, high stress, even dissociation or disconnection or depression, I just want to say that like whatever it is for you right now, it all makes sense. And here's why. It's because of our past programming. So maybe something has happened to us in the past, and to tell us that whatever we're going into or going through right now, this is scary and it's threatening to us. And or there's just certain things that are being activated in your body and your mind that are really just trying to protect you. So all of these systems and these symptoms that are coming up are a means of protecting you from future harm. So if you're kind of going through anything really right now that you're noticing, and of course, like one of the best steps right now, 1 minute. Like one of the first steps right now is just to be aware of what's going on in your body. And being aware is like this beautiful, curious state. Not of judgment as much as you can, and of curiosity and of compassion. And if that's hard for you to do right now, try to frame that relationship that you're having with whatever, whatever it is that's coming up with you right now. Try to frame that relationship with your thing right now as if it were someone else, just for now, just to help you kind of come into your own kindness and compassion. Because a lot of times we are a lot kinder and compassionate to other people than we are with ourselves. So if your best friend, or if your child, or if you're someone, like for example, my niece or nephews, if they were going through something right now, what would you do with them? How would you approach them in the most kind and loving of ways? And try to turn that into how you would approach yourself. Hopefully you wouldn't fight it. You wouldn't say that it was wrong. You wouldn't kind of spiral down this negative path of telling those, those people that are close to you and that you love, that they're wrong and everything that's happening with you is wrong, hopefully you will turn towards it with a little bit of curiosity. And that is really a beautiful point of awareness, because it does a couple things. It adds a little bit of space to that relationship that you're having with this thing that's coming up for you. And also, it's really, again, like a beautiful act of kindness and compassion that you're giving yourself. So really, that's kind of the first step. And I guess today what I wanted to talk about is after you do that, oh my gosh, after you do that and you realize that you have something that's coming up for you, it's really great to kind of look at it not from a perspective of, I don't want this anymore, even though you might, but just that energy, if you could just change, again, that energy and kind of stepping away from that and just looking at it with, what is this? You'll start to realize that when you start to ask questions about what's going on with you, there's really kind of, at least the way that I'm thinking about, at least today, this could change. So, hopefully this is just, something to kind of pique your interest. But today you can look at it if you've kind of identified something that's going on with you. Like, for example, I'm feeling really bad because I got rejected, for example. And what happens, again, all of these beliefs start to form about this. Different thoughts and behaviors really start to form if kind of you aren't on the really awareness path. So if your emotional pain is coming up, put some awareness on that. Is it a threat or is it a challenge? And the way that I define threat is a physical threat. Like back in the old caveman days when we were actually fighting lions and tigers and bears, oh my. But seriously, like a threat to me is like a physical threat, like a point in our existence where we need to run or we need to fight. Or, there is another option too, but just for now, let's keep it there. Or is it a challenge? It's my guard dog. Or is it a challenge to look at this differently? If you aren't in physical threat and there's a lot of stuff coming up for you, like, again, anxiety, depression, it may be just a little bit of help just to kind of reframe that. So the challenge could be finding out what it is, asking questions about what's going on, bringing in other people to help you do that, reaching out to support, to save support, and helping you process whatever's happening. Because if you aren't in physical threat, but your body feels like you are, then it may be a good time to look at it as a challenge to be more curious about what it is that's coming up for you. And really, I feel like just that's one of the first most compassionate things that you can do with yourself in your healing journey. So, I hope that helps today, and big love.